Hey everybody, Coleman 250 here. Hey, it's going to be part 3, my prepping for winter series. Heat sources. I'm going to show you two types of alternative heat sources that I have. One I use all the time, one I've never used at all. Other than the two that I'm going to show you, I would like to get me a kerosene heater here in the next couple. It'll probably be after Christmas, you know. A lot of expenses around the holidays coming up, so after the holidays I plan on getting me a kerosene heater. So let's dive into it and show you what I'm doing and two alternatives that I have. Okay, so my first one is a Coleman Catalytic heater, and this particular model runs off of the Coleman camp fuel. It's an old one, and if it's been used, it hasn't been used very many times. I bought it at a flea market for $12. It's a 3,000 to 5,000 BTU. I thought it was more than this, but it's not. But 3,000 to 5,000 BTU is still a good sized little heater, you know, to heat a small room, or a lot of people use these in their tree stands, those box stands that people build for deer hunting. So let's get into it. Here we go. And I've never lit this yet. Watched a few videos on how to do it. Let's see if it works. Okay, we got here. This is the temperature adjust. Top folds up like this. This is a snuffer. This is one reason I think that it hadn't been used, if any, is because the snuffer, you put this on the top of it to snuff it out when you're done. And that's the way it came. It looks brand new. There is some black soot on it, so somebody might have lit it for just a short amount of time. This thing, it's an older model. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it says to, and I put 1/3 of a gallon of Coleman camp fuel in this, is what I put in it. It says to tip it upside down until you get a wet spot. I think you can see that wet spot there of the fuel. Put it up here to light. And it says to light that wet spot. I think shoots off a few flames there, don't it? I'll close that down. And then it says to wait, and it'll heat up. So let's wait and see what happens. I'll be back. Okay, so I've decided to move it down on a 55-gallon drum lid that I usually stick my smoker on up here on my deck. Get it off that dinette table, outdoor table, whatever you want to call it, because the umbrella's there. I don't want to catch the umbrella on fire. So it's only been a couple minutes. I'm going to give this thing a little bit of time and I'll check back. Okay, so we've let this thing go about 30 minutes or so. Left and done some stuff and came back. And it ain't so hot I can't hold my hand over it. You know, we are outside, the wind's blowing pretty good, but there's a good amount of heat coming off this. And you know, this hadn't been used in ages either. So maybe the more I use it, you know, the more that pad there will get soaked up with fuel or do whatever it does, and maybe it'll start working a little better. But I mean, I can definitely feel the heat output on my face from a pretty good distance here, so this will work great in a pinch, you know. You probably want to use this in a, you know, like somewhere with a lot of air movement, because it does throw off a lot of the lantern fumes. So that's just one of my alternate heat sources, and now I'll show you the other one. Okay, we're back. So my other heating source, and this is the heating source that I choose to use mainly in the wintertime. This is a Lopi Freedom fireplace insert. And let me see if you can see this. It fits in your fireplace and makes your fireplace a wood stove. A fireplace will consume a lot of wood very quick. You can't control the airflow. Well, with an insert, you can control. It's just like a wood stove, only it fits into your fireplace. You can control the airflow, and you can make that wood last a whole lot longer and get the most out of your BTUs. You really get all the heat from the wood. You're not wasting a lot of heat. You know, it's hard to use your flue, the damper, whatever you call it, to keep the heat inside with an open fireplace. You can do it, but you get a lot of smoke. Well, with this is an airtight stove, and I keep a pot of water all the time on top, and it just puts humidity in the air, and just because Grandma did it. So let's alright, so I don't clean my ashes out very often, and the reason being, it seems like the more ashes that are in here, the longer it'll keep coals in there. See if there's some coals back in there still from last night. So, you know, it kind of helps insulate and keep those coals good and hot. So I'm going to set this up, I'm going to light it up, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just stack it in here like I do a campfire. You want to open your, open that up so you're getting the most airflow. And it's already starting to smoke because of the coals that are in there. But I use some of my sugar sacks. And I also got about 2 small pieces of pine knot in there. And that's the pine knot I'm lighting right now. And I don't know if you've ever used pine knot, but you can see how it burns. It burns real quick. And it's just kind of like, almost like kerosene, that sap on them pine knots. So we'll get our fire going there. And there's a lever here on the bottom. And this controls the air intake when the doors are closed. And right here, I've taken my blower off. It's got a blower that mounts to this, but the blower motors went out. And it's like $350, $400 to get a new one because you got to buy it straight from Lopi. So I'm working on getting some new electric motors and putting them in myself so I can hook my blower back up, so I don't have to spend all that money. And when the blowers are going, this thing will heat my whole house. I won't even turn on the central heat. Right now I don't have a blower, so I got this oscillating fan right beside the wood stove, and it really blows that air around. I also keep my ceiling fan on counterclockwise, so it's sucking that heat up and moving the air. So there you go. But you know, I use this, and this is a very dependable. There's not really anything that can go wrong with one of these things. There are fire bricks lined on the insides. The floor is fire brick, and there's some fire brick right above where that fire is going to keep majority of the flames are going straight up your flue. So keep you some extra fire bricks on hand with a good wood stove, and you should be set for a long, long time. But also, as you can see, this thing, it sticks out of my fireplace a good, I don't know, what's that, 1.5 feet, so you can cook on top of this. And I cook a lot of things on top of this. You know, I'll set a pot of beans up there and let it cook through the day. I've cooked chili up there. We've made chili dogs, and the hot dogs, I just wrap them in foil, throw them up there on the top, let them warm up. You know, and see, my glass, the glass in this, it stays so dirty, and I can clean it and it'll be crystal clear. In a couple days it's back like this, so I give up on it a long time ago. I love to watch the fire. When I want to watch the fire, I just leave the doors open. So there it is. And also, like I said, I'm going to get me a kerosene heater. So hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. You can always go back to the, you know, make sure you got plenty of blankets, wool preferably, quilts, you know. Stock up on a few extra things like that for the winter. You know, keep them around, because you never know what might happen. And as preppers, we want to make sure that we're prepared for whatever comes at us. And you know, life's full of surprises. So don't be caught off guard. Don't be caught with your pants down this winter. You know, have a couple backups for your backup. You know, so this is Coleman 250 from the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless. And remember, prep smarter and pray harder.